Okay, so take this video with a grain of salt. But basically, I'm going to be talking about how I think Boruto will be animated, when it will come, how long it will be to animate the manga. Because generally, people think like because Boruto is 21 pages, it will take 21. 20 is 42 pages. That's basically like an episode, which isn't necessarily the case. So anyway, we go to the buy your manga volumes. Just so we're clear, this is just for the research purposes. I buy my volumes. So anyway, as we can see, they've adapted 129 chapters of Black Clover, with obviously the Zora arc. Well, with not adapted, they have released 129 episodes. What? No, my point is 129 episodes divided by, I think there are 81 Black Clover episodes, which we have just seen. That gives us, yes, which is exactly that. That gives us a figure of 1.6, so approximately 1.6 of two chapters, which is 160% basically, is being adapted. And obviously, if we give that a figure, and each chapter is about 17 pages. So obviously 17 time divided. Wait, what am I doing? This is completely. Please go to school. Learn your mathematics, because I don't have to write clear what I was doing here. But anyway, it is 70. Wait. Okay, yeah. So basically, half is 8.5. So 17 plus 8.5 is 25.5. So basically, Black Clover is animated at 27 chapters per episode. 27 pages per episode. My error. Now I'm going to use another big series to see how they are animated. So we're going to use My Hero Academia, which is animated by Bones, which is seasonal, not long running, kind of like Black Clover. But let's see, there are 63 episodes of My Hero, 2 seasons, 25, and then obviously use Naruto, because Naruto was also done by Pierrot Studio Clowns. And we'll see how they animated the episodes as well. Generally, I have seen My Hero is done about 1.8. At least the first season was done at, they animated 1.8 chapters per episode. Yes, which is basically a chapter and 8% of another chapter. So imagining there are about 17 pages per chapter, which we have calculated to be 25.5, which is 1.5 basically. A chapter of My Hero should be about 30 pages, because 13.6, so that exactly 31 pages of My Hero is adapted. But generally going through the season again, I've seen for season 2 and 3 it's much more of 2 to 1, so 2 episodes for one. 2 chapters for the episode. See, the first season was 1.8, so generally a ballpark figure is between 1.6 for Black Clover and 2 chapters, which is good adaptation. And obviously we look at Boruto. This is chapter 11, the first manga arc, and there are 34 chapters, which is the latest chapter that was just released in April. That is 24 chapters. And now that we've established our basis, let's go into the calculator and figure out this number. So obviously we know Boruto is 42 pages, 1 color page a month. So that is 24 times 41, because it's 24 chapters. And now, that gives us a figure of 32.8, which is approximately 33 episodes. So what I'm saying, we could adapt the 24 chapters that we have right now and get 33 episodes, which is almost a year of manga content, right? Now we go back into the manga app. We look at this. This is chapter 16, or this is the first arc, the end of the Shoujoji arc, which was chapter 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. That is 5 chapters. Now we're going to go back into the calculator and calculate how I think this arc will be adapted, because generally each arc has a filler at the end of it. If for Naruto, filler wasn't really that bad until like the last arc. So we have 5 chapters times 41 gives us a figure of 205 divided by 30. We can get 7 episodes for that arc. So Naruto really gets a bad rep for fillers, but it's not as bad as people make it to seem. in the main story up until Naruto versus Sasuke, when Sasuke left the village, there are only 2 or 3 filler arcs. We have the recap episode at episode 26, the Tsunade episode filler at the end of Tsunade arc, the Land of Tea arc filler. That's it. That's really the only fillers we have until after Naruto vs Sasuke. Then we went to filler for about 2 years. So back to the manga, we see Boruto. After the Shoujoji arc, which is chapter 15, the next arc, which is the Owl arc, from chapter 16 to 34, which is about 19 chapters. So we go back into the calculator and let's look at what this gives us. So 19 times 41 pages gives us a figure of 779, divided by 30 gives us an episode count of 26 episodes. 26 plus the 7 from the Shoujoji arc gives us a total figure of 33 episodes. So that's almost basically a year of Boruto content, but we want to make this figure 50. And let's look at other things, other material they can adapt to make it 50. The first things we're going to use are the novels, obviously. The Shikamaru novel, the Sasuke novels. Generally, they've been adapted within a range between 3 to 5 episodes per novel. Like the latest one, which is the Naruto one, was 3. So if you give both of them 5 episodes, that's a 10 episode count. So from 33, it gives us 43. And then for this video, this is the Naruto franchise. There's going to be more filler spring, maybe after the Tento arc. So let's just make it plus 5 for the purpose of like research and for this video. Let's just say 5 episodes of filler to make it stop at episode 48. So basically a whole year with filler sprinkled in, and they adapt the novels would give us 48 episodes of Boruto. Actually, you know what the heck, let's make it 50. Now, assuming an episode count of 50, remember I'm assuming Boruto manga starts airing in October. So between now, which was chapter 34, and October, they're going to be chapter 5 chapter releases, which will bring us to a total count of 39 as at October. So let's go into the calendar just to be sure. There's no chapter in May, obviously. They're going on a break, which happens every year. There's always a 1 month break. So that is 35 June, 36 July, 37 August, 38 September, and 39 in October. So obviously, that's 5 chapters multiplied by 41 times divided by 30 gives an episode count of 7 episodes. We add 7 to our 50 episode count, which we're assuming, and all this is by October. So 57 episodes of Boruto content, with each a year of Boruto. And obviously they probably take breaks in between, so it probably be a bit longer. Now imagine 57 episodes of Boruto. Boruto's been going on for a year, which means there are 12 point chapters of content. So this can just keep going, but obviously they go on a month break, so 11. So 11 times 41 gives us a figure of 40, whatever, and then divided by 30 pages gives an episode count of 15. So obviously 57 episodes plus 15 gives us 72. And 15 episodes, which is basically an episode is released every week, which is basically 4 weeks. We're just going to round up for 4 and make it 16 episodes just so it's easier for us. So that is, in those 4 weeks, 4 extra additional chapters are released. So we're going to see how many pages, how many you can get, how many episodes. So 4 times 41, 164 divided by 30. And what does that give us? Oh my God, error. What is wrong with me? I go to school, for goodness sake. This gives us a figure of 5 to 6 episodes. Let's just say 6, because I don't know, they can pad out. So 72 plus 6 gives us an episode of count of 78 episodes. So what I'm saying is we can have 78 episodes of Boruto without a break. They don't need to go on a break, because right now we've already given ourselves a buffer for continual episode counts. And at that point, if we add 34 chapters plus the 39 chapters plus the 11 in that space of a year, that gives us 50 chapters, which is almost the halfway point of Boruto, because the manga, we're expecting it to be 70, how many volumes? 28 volumes, because he wants it to be less than, 30, because of less than, he wants the whole Naruto saga to be 100. So 72 plus 28 will give us 100. Obviously, I'm not counting the Sarada Gaiden. So 28 gives us half of that is volume 14. I'm just going to assume a chapter count of 110, even though technically it's 112, But just to make it easier, the halfway point is 56 chapters and 55. So regardless if it's 112 chapters or 110 chapters, it's either chapter 55 or 56 as the halfway point for the Boruto series, which is when I'm assuming there would be a time skip. Because if you look at Naruto's time skip happened about a third of the series, and two-thirds happened in part 2. Because this is going to be shorter, and right now I just can't see a time skip happening. Because if you look at it, a time skip can't happen until big things in the story happen. There's no big thing that could happen right now for me to say, oh, the time skip is coming. So I don't know. I think a time skip, I don't think it will happen in the next, I don't know, 10 chapters. I don't know. They're not paying me to write the story. But basically, that is my idea of how I see Boruto will be animated. As you can see, that number you can see on the screen is 63 episodes. That is assuming all 46 chapters of Boruto are animated without any break, like adapted a la My Hero style. No filler, nothing. Should give us a figure of 63 episodes. We add 10 episodes from the novels, which I think will be adapted. Give us 73. Just add 7 episodes of filler somewhere. Will give us a figure of 80 episodes. So I believe animating the whole Boruto thing from this point, from chapter 11 to 56, should give us 80 episodes. Between now and October, when the episode count should be adapted, 126 episodes would have passed. So 126 plus 80 will give us a total figure of 207 episodes, a la the end of Boruto part 1. So in general regards to time skip, I'm thinking of doing a Boruto video on like the circumstances by which a time skip would happen, because the time skip is a reset button after large things have happened in the story. Right now, I'm not sure Boruto can get into one, but we'll see. Oh, and finally, this is just like some of the mangas I've collected recently while I'm at school. Just so you know, I buy my volume.